about status for a minute, and once you go in, you lose all your status. I'm curious, is it the status that you had going in because of your crime? I mean, you're in there with, I'm sure there's a lot of violent crimes, assaults, drugs, dealing, using, but you were a fucking bank robber. What did that afford you?
Well, I got lucky because I had some of my friends there. I was barely 19 when I went to prison, so I already had some friends, older brothers and cousins that were there. And there was a guy there that had a lot of juice. He had been there for a minute, and he had been in the hole for a while, and he used to read the paper. So he'd read my little news articles. So when I got there, he was like, "You're that guy." And I was like, "Yes, I am." And he was like, "Oh, you know," and I was like, "Fuck yeah." So I got like a warm welcome by my friends' older brothers, cousins, the guy that had a lot of juice in the prison. So I was all right, but it doesn't always work out like that. Like, for example, if you were to go to prison for murder, let's say, you walked up to somebody from another neighborhood and you just, bam, shoot him in the head, right? You get caught, you go to prison. That doesn't really get you any, like, notoriety, really. People have that in the back of their minds, like, oh, this guy's a killer. But for the most part, it's you committed that murder for selfish reasons. So we don't give a fuck. It's like, what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do here with us? You see what we're up against, So it's about where that person's at in the current environment. Because like,
all about
what you're willing to do. Well, no, because the first thing wasn't what you did for anybody. It was you did that for you. You did so it gets you no kind of stripes, credibility. It's just you're there for a long time, so they'll expect help. They want to see where you're at. You doing that on the streets, nothing. You could have just been methed out of your mind, and thought freaking cameras were everywhere and just shot some random person. So normally the crime you commit to get you in usually doesn't really help you out much. It's what you're willing to do, what you're all about. Because again, you shoot somebody with a gun, that's fine. There's no guns in prison except for the COs. So what are you willing to put your life on the line for us as a group? Because again, something happens, something cracks off, people are going to help you. It doesn't need to go to any high up, nothing like that. It's just, if I was on the yard walking, and I seen my friends getting jumped by another car, I'm just running over there to help. I don't need anybody to tell me, hey, you have to go do that. That's what makes you strong in there. It's like a defense mechanism, together we're strong. So I would embrace that fucking completely.